Welcome back as DOOI and RAPHA are getting ready for the grand final, brushing or washing the giblets off of themselves from their previous matches, as I'm kind of brushing the talkie dust off of myself from that break. And I hope everybody got their snacks ready because this promises to be one hell of a final.
I made the mistake of buying Halloween candy about a month early. I don't think the kids are getting any of that candy.
I was like, what's the problem? What's the mistake? They don't need all that candy. It's bad for them anyway. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't think it's that great for me either. But yeah, we got a great match coming up, man. I'm curious to see if DOOI can upset the GOAT. You know, DOOI's here. He's been playing good. So yeah, he's got a heck of a game up against RAPHA coming up. So
been playing quite well. Yeah, we got saw one match out of RAPHA here so far today. I'm going to take a quick look at the brackets to see the journey that we've come through. We've seen some really close games. We've seen some games that went a direction other than we expected, to say the least. Oh, I didn't even put Chain's little 0 in there. Chain deserves a 0 there. There you go. There's a happy little 0. All right, but we got DeHang and Effortless. I mean, DeHang getting knocked out. It was a 3-map series. It came down to, like, the last frag, but again, like, DeHang kind of ran into some of those fights. And Effortless kind of did exactly that in our semifinal between Effortless and DOOI.
Did he run into those fights, or did Effortless draw him into those fights?
Oh,
something to chew on.
Yeah.
Something to chew on.
Well, DOOI gave Effortless a lot to chew on, so everybody's jaws are going to be working in overtime. As we get into RAPHA v DOOI, they're about to get into their first map right here, right now. It's going to be a best-of-5 series, and we're going to be getting started on Blood Covenant. So we're going to be seeing Keel banned out as well as Death Knight. So we're going to be seeing a little bit more of a standard pick here. Keel getting banned by DOOI, like RAPHA has been effectively using Keel for a few weeks now. During the PGL, I was kind of raising my eyebrow. Like, yeah, we're seeing Keel, but is he really doing all that great? Well, in the earlier match today, yeah, he was actually doing really good with the Keel.
Really good, but as you mentioned, you know, that success packing on some pounds, a little easier to hit now. If you're not landing those nades, those pineapples aren't working for you, he could become a liability. So it's all a question about how, you know, right? To me, it's all a question of how good they are at being efficient with those nades, those pineapples. If you're getting damage out with it, then it's okay to have a little extra thickness. But if you're missing, you're just going to get punished with LG, man.
Yeah. But it also means that DOOI has the ability to bring a clutch into play. And clutch is actually, like, really well balanced now. It's the only thing that kind of nerfs him is the fact that we spent so many patches perfecting how to play against really difficult clutch players. Everybody's been trained, like, how to handle the clutch. So DOOI's got to get a little bit more creative as we get into Blood Covenant. And a classic map for a classic matchup as we're getting into it right here, right now. Best of 5, as we're going to be watching RAPHA out of the gate, getting the spawn at Pillars, is prioritizing the heavy machine gun, and who could blame him? And even waiting a little bit before going for the piercing sight, looking for DOOI to cross into the rocket launcher, and he's going to be punished by that tri-bolt.
Yeah, nice little sight read. Yeah, those are nice. A little free damage there. Yeah, but DOOI's all right. DOOI's all right there. A nice little rail. Oh, a couple of good rails here. RAPHA needs to be careful.
Yeah, so he's not going to be. He wasn't going to be exposing himself over the top of that. Dropping down to the 25, he's like, he's not going to rail me twice. And DOOI railed him twice. Yeah. So there's the heavy armor pickup, but that also robbed a 25 away from DOOI.
Yeah, it's one of those. He just made a nice, you know, he made a poker calculation there. He felt, like you said, DOOI wasn't going to land every single shot, right? Pretty much.
Some days. So we got RAPHA dropping down towards LG and breaking over to the small armor. Yeah, he's going to hear that shotgun about to get picked up. Yeah, that's how smart DOOI is. He can hear weapons about to get picked up. But there's RAPHA still putting some pressure on the staircase here. Making a lot of work with the HMG, which is, again, like right now has 0 spread, but so does DOOI's rail. Oh, 0 spread and all the hits. 2 frags up here for doing the first round.
Nice start. Great start for him. This is exactly what you want, right? Going against a great player like this, get off to a good start, get your confidence going. You know, you want the momentum going in the right direction. We've seen how, you know, that can change in a hurry in this game. So you just want to keep making good plays.
Or you could just, you know, keep jumping up the jump pad. That's fun, too. All right, so, again, DOOI, like, we saw some amazing rails, but that room just, it's always, I don't know what it is. Something about it does your head in.
Yeah, I don't know. Just standing on the mega platform in a rail fight, I've never liked it. Going back even to the Quake 3 version of this map, never liked being over there with just the railgun.
Well, that means that RAPHA's going to be taking complete control. DOOI's is looking for like the 1 or 2 rails. Yeah, like you have to leave, but you also have to think. All right, I can eat a rail, sure, but then that puts me at 10 HP. What are my chances of actually getting 25s without getting collapsed on? Well, in this matchup, 0, as it's going to be Orbs v Orbs. DOOI still alive, looking for that tiny pixel, that sub-pixel of a rail, nearly getting it. But he's still alive, and RAPHA's actually pretty weak here as well. And DOOI pulls out the rail, getting the frag, getting the round.
I was a little surprised. RAPHA took the risk. He tried to ambush. I was a little surprised he didn't get more out of that at pillars, right? DOOI did a good job not taking any damage, and RAPHA barely got away. And DOOI did a good pursuit, knowing he was going to run straight to heavy and caught him jumping down.
46 health. I mean, not the longest round there, but DOOI was just absolutely beasting it. Not to say that RAPHA wasn't, just the angle play there from DOOI, just so well done. All right, so just a bit of a standard setup here across, across mid, as RAPHA's looking for his own pickup of a rail. DOOI's going to kind of concede that to him, but there's the pop-up to make it very dangerous for DOOI to stick around. But I like this. He kind of goes quiet. He goes still for a moment, going, all right, you're going to want to get in control for heavy, and I want the 25s. So good pickup and a good attack on the Mega as well.
Yeah, he had sight. Nice play on DOOI. So DOOI's not great. He's not in terrible, like, worse shape, but he's not in great shape either. I mean, he needs. Yeah, he knows. No, did he make him? Oh, did he think he was? He thought he was down, or did? Oh, no.
You don't see these misreads happening all the time.
That went wrong.
6 HP for DOOI after that first frag, but can he recover before RAPHA shows back up with his own orb? Yeah, that's a big fat no. Need to get out of there. 6 HP, and there's the machine gun. Oh, boom goes the dynamite.
Oh, that just came back in a hurry. But it looked. What happened? What do you think happened? Do you think RAPHA thought he was below when he heard the footsteps? Like, oh my goodness!
Sure, but the thing. When was the last time you saw ellipses come out of RAPHA? When was that? Wow. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
I know he's not streaming right now, but I would kill to see his face. Wow. All right.
Oh man, I think an expletive might have been yelled out on his own. I think
So RAPHA's on Doom Guy. We got DOOI on Clutch. And, with those frags happening relatively close to each other, they're going to be giving each other kind of a wide berth, but that also allows RAPHA to get double pickups on the items. Still rocket launcher and I think rail for DOOI. Yep, yeah, he's got a railgun.
Man. Oh, yeah. That was definitely a railgun shot, right? I think it pretty much nicked RAPHA and went right in front of his nose.
Clean shave, even through the helmet. All right, but RAPHA's looking to collapse, force out the shield. Because, yeah, with this stack advantage, he definitely wants to use it well. And with these rails, there you go. Got to feel a little bit vindicated there. Oh, you're just going to triple rail me all day, are you? Well, that's some of your own medicine.
Indeed.
And DOOI, I mean, even going for that attack from down there, like, if he popped the shield a little bit earlier, he could have kept an angle on the bridge so that he could have at least gotten the heavy and maybe gotten back out. That was ballsy for sure.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Some would call it ballsy, others would say not advisable.
Depends on how professional you want to be today. All right, so we got DOOI over the top. I mean, really exposing his position there. Like, you don't even need piercing sight to figure out when to take that rail. RAPHA had the right read there for sure because DOOI gave it to him.
RAPHA saying, okay, I'm going to show you how to rail right now. Definitely been landing some good ones in this little stretch here.
Yeah, so a little bit of spin on the Mega this time. Got about a 7-second split. RAPHA going just as quiet as DOOI does from time to time. You hear LG picked up. Play at the jump pad. And DOOI wasn't looking for him at that choke point. He stops and turns around like, wait, what? Oh, okay. And the same rail. Make that 2.
Yep.
I think I think
you
wouldn't like RAPHA when he's angry. He's RJ right back into it. Not even going for the Mega, he's going for the kill.
This is This is stuff. John, I'm going to tell you just from his mentor's point of view, John would be losing his shit a little bit over that right now.
Yeah.
Like, he gave up items just to chase. Like come on, man. You don't need to do that. Could have kept control. It's probably getting. Oh.
Without even DOOI being, you know, literally at death's doorstep, like, he had taken a couple hits, but he was still fine. DOOI just was asking for it for that fight, though. Great rockets coming out of RAPHA. So that's going to be the first frag of RAPHA just about 2 minutes in on Blood Covenant. Not too unexpected, but it's all about how RAPHA can regain control as DOOI takes away that heavy armor and will certainly be showing up for at least the exit from this Mega. He's going to hear the pickup. He's going to be lurking down below. Can hear the pitter-patter of little feet. And there's the rocket out of RAPHA. Almost in second one.
I think those rails woke RAPHA up, man. From round one. After dot, I've noticed he's a little snappier. You know, he's looking around right now.
Yeah, but he's starting to take some of these hits as DOOI's finally getting enough of an angle with his rail to take some of that stack off. And that's really been like the key difference here so far is DOOI really needs to be able to set himself at a good spot to make those rails even a possibility, let alone accuracy. But there's some great machine gun out of RAPHA making full use of that zero spread.
RAPHA just came back after round one. So you're trying to embarrass me on Twitch TV, fool? I got something to do.
It's the ellipses that really surprised me, honestly. Right?
Nice.
Again, like, I think everybody's at this Guitar Hero God level of knowing when to shoot a clutch when he's got the shield up. Like, it doesn't even really matter right now, like, what you do to the shield timing patch-wise or, you know, what you change about clutch. Like, everybody just kind of has him figured out because they had to for such a long time.
Yeah, it's just a little bit of an. I think he's really balanced, though. I like where he's at.
Yeah.
So you can play around him, but if you don't play the right way, he's still gonna punish you, just like the old. You know what I mean? Just like before. So.
Great use of the double jump out of RAPHA there. Yeah, DOOI's definitely got to get the hell out of dodge, breaking his way back through LG. But RAPHA doesn't really care which way he goes, but he got some great information off of that rocket, not to mention the damage. And DOOI's right back where he started.
He's going to trade here. I'll go ahead and let him have the heavy. He's coming back, though. DOOI wasn't there waiting for it.
So he got like the one shot off of that trap. That's nice. Here comes the mining laser. RAPHA's still running it, 57 HP. Still running it back a long time before either item comes back up. So not really a frag for DOOI, but certainly a change in stat control. But it's really going to come down to this next heavy item. It's going to be the Mega coming up, and DOOI needs to be here. If he doesn't win this fight, honestly, then nothing really happened. Yeah,
it's like, honestly, that didn't go so great for DOOI because RAPHA was able to fall back to, you know, the light armor and health, both at pillars and at the rail jump pad. So he was able to recover really quickly. Now DOOI's, you know, needs to get a stack, and with clutch that could take a while. I mean, you gotta, especially if the guy's doing chip damage on you, it becomes an issue. And
yeah, you know most of these small armors are no fun to get. Like, they don't really put you in a great spot tactically. And speaking of being at a bad spot, RAPHA just floating over DOOI, not really letting him have any free exits, even as he's trying to cross through TP. There's the rail out of RAPHA. DOOI's got to make himself scarce, and when you're a giant robot, that's not easy.
Oh man, yeah, he's got to pop it out of it. It's pure survival. RAPHA's gonna come in for the kill for sure right now. Oh, he ate a rocket though, coming in.
Yeah.
Came in a little high.
The rare moment where you see a clutch have to use a shield to stay defensive. Imagine that.
Rocket jump back, yep, go straight for Mega. And we have great timing by RAPHA. He knew he had the time to turn around. He could go grab the, he hurried, and then you rocket jump up the bridge. Had just enough time to get back to Mega.
And the great thing is when you hurry there, then you have all the time in the world to make these frags happen. So yeah, RAPHA definitely feeling a little vindicated now.
And he's, again, he's like, you want to see some rails? I got some rails for you, Clutch.
But right now, DOOI doesn't even have that option of being a fresh spawn. RAPHA RJing right back up, coming back into the fight, expecting DOOI around the corner as he does with the dire orb, but DOOI's orb ends up dying.
I think he's seen that play before.
Once or twice.
Once or twice.
Study the tapes.
It was a good attempt. And DOOI is really all he had. He couldn't retreat the pillars and go to Mega. I mean, that was all that sent him. So he made the play he thought he could make, and RAPHA again. Just knows what's up.
And hey, if it was like 3 degrees different, we'd be praising him for it right now. But as it stands,
yeah, of course,
it's going to be DOOI falling on Blood Covenant. GG called. But still, DOOI got some ellipses out of RAPHA. That's got to feel good.
Yeah, he definitely had. I don't know what Shane said in his house, but I guarantee you it wasn't acceptable for our broadcast. I'm sure he yelled out something.
Well, that's why he lives by himself
he needs 2
now.
He said he needs 2 minutes. He needs to calm down after. Okay.
Honestly, if that's why he needs 2 minutes, I'm not sure I agree. Like he took that, he internalized it, he bottled it up, and he turned it into pure vitriol. I mean, these rails, I mean, DOOI just, again, like, he opened up with such strong ones. But a lot of that is just momentum-based, right? Like, you get to do that when you're doing enough chip damage to kind of keep RAPHA off your back, making RAPHA respond to you so that you know that he's going to be dropping down for that heavy armor anyway. But after a certain point, RAPHA was calling all the shots and hitting them as well.
Yeah, the railgun, man. It's great when you're hitting all those shots, dude, but when you start missing and kind of go for some stuff that
hitting's great, missing's not. Yeah,
hitting's great. Like I said, I always compare it to the 3-point shot in basketball. Man, it's great when it's falling, but when it's not, you know, I want to go to something a little different.
And that's exactly it with the dire orb. And you're right. I think RAPHA. Well, it's not only that he knew that DOOI couldn't really afford to go to the mega. It's like if given the option, DOOI will wait around the corner and be ready with that orb, especially if he's keeping that ranger for last. So. Maybe don't ranger. And did the clutch really help him out all that much? Like, he was able to use the shield to get away from a few fights, but they're fights that he was only in because he was clutch in the first place.
Yeah, it didn't really benefit him. And even at the end, the dire orb play you're talking about, I mean, RAPHA knew. That's why he hesitated. I mean, he didn't just run straight in. He knew he kind of ducked around the corner there. And I think maybe, I don't know, I'd have to see the angle on the replay. The double jump might have threw DOOI's orb off a little bit, right? Because he came through with the Slayer and double jumped through the doorway instead of just a regular jump.
It's always been Doom guys' like greatest strength is that double jump. Like it allows you to affect entry angles. It allows you to get a different angle for getting a rail or rocket off. Like there are matches where we don't even really see the fisticuffs come out all that often. Maybe used defensively to create some distance, or especially on Blood Covenant, if you know it's a race over to armor or mega to make that happen. But the double jump, it's pretty strong. And when we see Athena next month in the tournament as well, it's going to be a factor for her as well.
It just adds that third level of elevation that you got to worry about when people are coming through doorways. You know, usually it's jump or they're running through. They're either straight jumping or they're running through, right? Now it's like, oh, you might be double jumping through. So it's kind of, it just kind of keeps you looking in different areas, and it throws you off a little bit because you get in habits.
This means you can snap your rails a little bit faster. That's all you got to do. Just be a little bit faster. All right, so DOOI and RAPHA both bringing out their Rangers and Galenas into Corrupted Keep. It's going to be map 2 with RAPHA 1 under the belt here so far. But again, that first round for DOOI, that's one to remember. We do have the Blazkowicz coming out from RAPHA and mirrored by DOOI. So again, it's always a toss-up. Like, is it full respect between these two, or is it a little bit of, all right, whatever you pick, I'll meet you, you know, square to square?
I don't know, man. I really think they got a plan. I don't think they get too into like, oh, I'm just gonna match what you got and beat you at your own game. Or maybe, I don't know. I've never actually asked.
Not that I would use him as a general example, but Claus explicitly said that, you know, I just don't care, so I'll just pick what you pick. Because I just don't care. Well, both of these guys be caring just a little bit here as we get into Corrupted Keep. RAPHA spawning up as BJ. DOOI opting for the more strategic long-term play here as a Galena, but we're going to have to see how long they can last as they've already got fingers around each other's throats.
You mean to tell me Claus said something really confident? Really?
Yeah, exactly. That's why, like, well, you can't apply this to everybody, obviously, but yeah.
Yeah.
Don't listen to Claus, kids.
Yeah, don't listen to Claus. Practice.
Oh, jeez. It's always a tough situation where you have to avoid the totem, but that also means giving that armor. Oh, what?
Whoa! So close, dude. Wow. That's like game of inches, game of millimeters, man. That's jeez.
Oh, hi, Mark.
What a turnaround shotgun shot by RAPHA, too.
That was fantastic, yeah. So DOOI on the spawn.
By surprise.
He's already used his dire orb. RAPHA able to take away that heavy. Yeah, when RAPHA had his back up against the wall on the heavy, I thought that was it. Like, DOOI got the pickup. He had taken a lot of damage, but RAPHA wasn't looking all that great either. Now he's turned that frag into full control. DOOI hasn't really picked up much over the last, like, 20 seconds.
He's stacked, man.
And DOOI doesn't even have any armor. Like, 2 rockets, like, yeah, you're just a soft target. And RAPHA took almost no damage in that fight either, so he could just keep that momentum rolling forward.
That again.
Much fun.
Just like that. You shouldn't have. We've mentioned it earlier about spawning and running straight to rocket launcher.
Yeah.
Not a good idea.
Especially like doing the math there. Thumbs up.
Round 2.
If you're DOOI, you gotta realize.
I know you want it.
If I get mad, I can't just say ellipses because that won't convey the same thing I think it does. The mind games.
That's too confusing for me, man.
That's why we're here and they're there. I mean, no offense. So RAPHA just holding on to the choke point here, waiting until DOOI, well, chokes. We got the drop down for Mega, but there's the throw out for the orb, and yeah, that was kind of a risky orb. DOOI had to respect that one. It was like, yeah, it could have actually made sense for him to push that forward if he was counting rockets. Oh, but DOOI with his own orbs. DOOI!
Death at the gates again.
It's been a long time since we've been able to finally get one of those out there, but it's got to feel cathartic for DOOI here.
Hey, that's how things can change for you. I mean, momentum's a funny thing in this game.
Oh, it is.
You start feeling good, confidence, right? You feel good, you start hitting shots, and you really do play different. And then if you start questioning yourself and things that aren't going your way, your confidence can be a major factor in this game. It'll affect your decision making big time.
Oh yeah. But DOOI here, again, going low and slow, as he likes to do. There's the RG up and the orb. The damage is good, even though it's not a telefrag, but a frag's a frag in this case, as RAPHA's now down to his Galena. But the item game, you never want to say it was a bad time to frag somebody, but it wasn't ideal for DOOI for him to take immediate control. He's still a little bit vulnerable here. It's a bit of a select between the Mega and the Heavy, and having lost the Mega, RAPHA could be a problem on this Heavy, or at least on the exit. He wants to be. But I don't think he can really do much here. Wow, he's actually all in on this. And another Dart Orb in the same spot.
Wow, he would rocket jump after him.
Wants DOOI to take enough damage that he's not looking where he's going. But there's the mutual frag. And that means that the rounds are going to be tied up 1-1.
A little surprised he just kind of went up like that. But I guess he had decent position. Just that last rocket got him. Hit the wall behind him.
Yeah.
But I guess he's just trying to get something going before the round got, before the timer went too far. Or, he had time.
Sounds weird to say for DOOI, but here we got RAPHA. Again, like BJ v BJ, and for once you can see that they're both a little bit reluctant to go completely into this fight, at least until RAPHA gets himself an LG. But now back into it. Oh, just completely blown up at the entrance there. And he comes back in for the Red Room armor. Was that worth it, DOOI? Was that worth it? It wasn't even a very long time to even like hear or make the read.
Yeah, I mean, it was an easy read for RAPHA, that's for sure.
Yeah,
he's made a lot harder reads in his career than that one. That was easy.
Like at the snail's pace my brain works, it was like, oh, okay, DOOI's actually out of the room. Oh, he's back in the room now. Like there was no gap between those two events. He left, he came back.
Yeah, and not to mention the fact that he took that damage. RAPHA knew he needed to recover, he needed to grab some armor. I mean, it was bait. It's clear bait.
Alright, so 8 seconds Heavy.
Don't take the bait, kids.
Ooh, DOOI's orb goes a little bit low, a little bit wide. And that's going to be going a little bit down as RAPHA takes away Heavy armor and another frag. Mega's will be back up. DOOI's looking for the drop down, but he's going to be paying for it. Trying to push in against this LG. It's just too much shaft for DOOI as RAPHA takes the round.
Nice shotgun switch at the end, too. I like the little shotgun switches he's been doing sometimes to get those finishes.
It's just the style with the trespasser. Even if you never play much Quake 2, you just know that that's just the best double-barreled shotgun. Well, I don't want to take that away from Doom 2, but it's just about the best.
Doom, yeah, I was going to say Doom 2, but the Quake 2, oh my.
For me, it's Doom 2, Quake 2, and Blood. Those are the best SSGs ever.
Did you know RAPHA knew how to juggle? I didn't know he knew how to juggle.
Keeps his brain fresh on long flights, you know? It's not great for his fellow passengers, but RAPHA don't care. It's 5 seconds mega. DOOI already lost out on the BJ. And RAPHA actually didn't spawn with him this time. Wanted a bit of a different setup. And yeah, because BJ's a great like second champion choice. If you've done enough damage, you can come back into the swing very quickly.
Oh yeah. Double machine gun, double shotgun. I mean, pick the poison, man. I mean, he can do a lot of damage with his ability.
Yeah.
Forget about it. Yep.
All right, so we hear the RJ from DOOI.
Here,
And he goes in for the aura, but again, a little bit low. But this time he's not completely caught here. He can escape and maybe try to take away these 25s, but the jump pad was heard by RAPHA. DOOI's aware of that as well. Good defensive rocket.
Dangerous play here. He doesn't know what
actually,
heads up. This is dangerous.
In that situation, throwing down a totem like that is kind of dangerous as well because, yeah, your opponent's spamming you from up top. And they go, oh, he just threw down a totem. I wonder where he's going to run. Oh,
I'm a little surprised because Mega was, at first I thought he was just trying to do some damage and you know, keep Mega blocked off. Then he went in all like that. It was a little shocked. I don't think he obviously wouldn't have done that if he had proper timing on heavy.
Yeah. Ooh. All right, so DOOI bringing back the SSG himself. A little bit of, I don't want to say showboating between these two, but a little bit of one-upmanship. Oh, you can do that? All right. Do that too.
Dude, I got a shotgun for you, bro.
Good orbs coming out. Is it enough damage, though, against a double rock? It's not quite. 61 HP left for RAPHA at the end of that. But now he's also got to be respecting DOOI off of his own spawn. So here comes the rockets. RAPHA getting some really good LG off, actually. So now DOOI's got to head back. This is actually a bit of a tough situation for both of them. We got Mega and Armor coming up at about the same time. DOOI can recover a little bit before the Armor comes up. This might have to turn into a trade.
Yeah, definitely. You're 2-2. You don't want to make a risk right now and do something silly. Take the item you can get. I think I'd rather have the Mega side. I think if you're RAPHA, you're feeling good. Get the 2 small armors plus the Mega, and you're feeling pretty good about yourself for the next encounter, especially with the BJ ability.
It's just quick math, yeah. So
Just
RAPHA,
like
that is a tough angle to hit anything with the rocket, but that was actually a good placement from RAPHA. DOOI just respected enough to get out of the way, but he couldn't get out of the way from the dual LG. That is going to be a Lamau coming out of DOOI, as we've got GGs coming out as well.
Nothing you can do. He was dead. That was it. Over.
So that's going to be 2 maps up for RAPHA, as we're going to be looking at map number 3 here in just a little bit. Could we see DOOI actually take a map off of RAPHA? We've seen him take rounds. Very good stuff, but RAPHA doing what RAPHA does, he adapts like nothing else. That's usually it. Like, so many finals that he's not only competed in but won, RAPHA has shown that he can like take a few frags or even take a round, and then you never see that happen again. Not on that map. He just downloads you very quickly, and that's it.
Yeah, and he has the ability to play different play styles. He can play fast, play slow. He'll mix it up on you. I mean, he's not one-dimensional or even two-dimensional by any means. He can play a different style of game and kind of, I don't know. He's like a chameleon, man. Like, you're right about that. He does it. He reads and he'll kind of do what he needs to do. If you want to play fast, he can speed it up too, and he'll play that way. Or maybe he'll counter you by slowing it up, making you think, realizing that you can't, think and predict the way he can. And he's shown a lot of different variations to his game over the years. That's for sure.
But at the same time, there is a little bit of something going on between these two, just with the fact that they are just sometimes just getting really aggressive with some of their shots, and like we don't see RAPHA get all that heated when playing against somebody like Cooler, but DOOI made him do that. Something going on here.
You could maybe, maybe it's just, I don't know, maybe because the cameras aren't, he's not streaming or nothing right now, so he's, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
It's a little less.
I think he keeps it together.
Right? You don't have to worry about
when he's visible.
Yeah,
RAPHA picking clutch
behind
on a
closed
Woken.
doors,
okay.
he's a mess.
Is that right? I didn't have those wrong. No, that was RAPHA's clutch. Yeah, that's what that looks like. Wow.
See, that's what people don't know. Behind closed doors, RAPHA really rages all the time. People like that.
But he definitely keeps it in check, which is part of the conditioning that you go through to get to that point. Yeah, I think it's necessary. Like a lot of people think it's like this tertiary or like a side effect of being competitive. And I think it's a big deal. Because again, land tournaments are marathons. You have to stay in it. the whole way through. Here we go.
Yeah, here we go.
Oh, please put this. Oh my God, this is the best.
What? What just happened? What did I just witness?
Oh. I thought, okay, that's kind of funny, lol. That'll be a fun clip, but then he misses it 4 times.
Shoots the shotgun at it in disgust. Hey, you see that, people? That's how we do it in the pros.
Yep, that's it. All right, we got a match going on, I'm sure. Allegedly. All right, so great rocket coming out of RAPHA, wanting to push in the damage here. And really, Clutch is fantastic on Awoken.
Oh, no.
Oh, misses the shot, but DOOI still goes down even after taking away that Mega.
It was pretty fortunate he landed on it, honestly, because it took it away from RAPHA, which is going to be important. He might be able to get something going here on the spawn. RAPHA doing a good job avoiding. Oh, yeah, getting those hourglasses. Oh, he's going to be good now. He's going to back off to the side hallway. Yep, the shield is up. Ooh. Oh, that kind of cost him though. Had to use it defensively. Not good. DOOI has a great opportunity to equalize it right now.
If you can get the angle on it, yeah. So RAPHA's making that a little bit more tough on him, but he wasn't expecting the damage from behind so quickly. So DOOI's going to have a decent stack here. RAPHA just hanging out. Yeah, RAPHA thought that DOOI was going to be dropping down for the armor a little bit earlier, but DOOI actually came across for the damage. Can't blame him there. 8 seconds to Mega. And they're both going to be, dropping down. Oh, hourglasses are now down to that little cubby. I like that. A little bit more incentive to go down there. Which also means it's a little bit more of a trap to go down there.
Yeah. That whole back area there, I mean, it's definitely a kill zone. You drop down there at the wrong time.
Again, I love Syncera's concept of balance, quote unquote. All right, so RAPHA pushing up the stairs with the shield out. So much armor.
Yeah, he's so stacked. DOOI is too, though. I don't know if, like, just because he's clutch, you know, I don't know if he wants to get in like an LG battle. He needs to do some damage there.
He knows how many choke points there are here, and free damage is certainly doable. It seems that they're ready for the shot. RAPHA coming back up top T. Here he's coming back up. And it's a clean pickup from DOOI.
Great job. When he doesn't have shield, right? Doing a good job of staying away. And
oh, jeez. Yeah, so it's the classic shield trap, but so much damage is going up against RAPHA right now. He's getting put up against the wall, 12 HP, still in it here with the shotgun, but the head math wasn't quite there, and DOOI even coming out with a little bit of the teabagging. All right. Again, there's something different about this matchup between these two guys. They don't usually see. All right, but good rockets coming out of RAPHA.
Little
all that health coming off of the totem, so.
Maybe a little friendly, competitive animosity in game. Teabagging kind of thing. Not personal, but it's in game. You know, in game I hate you kind of thing. Outside something the game, we're friends. Inside the game, you know, I don't like you.
All right, but RAPHA was able to take away that Mega, which was a good thing for him because he had very little to work with after that last frag. DOOI down to his Ranger. Got heavy up for RAPHA. You can hear the pitter-patter of feet up by the rail, and it's good damage done by DOOI, yeah. But it's traded off here every which way as RAPHA's down to almost nothing. DOOI wants to close the noose, and RAPHA had to make the read. DOOI made the rail. 2 seconds to Mega, though. That's got to feel spooky for DOOI. Yeah.
He is around. Nice little orb.
Yeah, DOOI had to respect that because it was certainly viable, but with 3 HP, able to pull back the round. Wow. And again, he's done this, and this is the 3rd map. And it's the 3rd time that DOOI's gotten an early round against RAPHA. But was this just the download phase? What you got to worry about for RAPHA is the upload phase. Yeah.
Yeah, information has been downloaded. Processing.
It's that up pipe that's scary. And so DOOI coming back in here with the heavy. And again, delaying that pickup just a little bit. It means that he's going to have an early rocket launcher, but there's the LG from RAPHA immediately whittling him down. You can see that he's done almost none damage to RAPHA. And with that rail, again, like you said earlier, it's one of those rails where even if you hit it, it doesn't really affect the outcome of that fight too much.
It wouldn't have mattered.
No.
Yep. Only thing you could have hoped for is you threw him off the map, threw him back off. Like, you're gone. he has you solo. Oh my goodness. Off again, get a little get him a little angry or something. Jeez.
I didn't want to be this accurate with my statement about RAPHA's upload. Yeah.
Jeez.
Ooh, just these rails coming out of RAPHA. Nasty stuff. That's going to leave the heavy armor open.
He didn't get the heavy. Yeah. He had a little RAPHA moment. He missed it.
RAPHA's had a few of these clippable moments over the past few tournaments. Showboating goes wrong a little bit sometimes. Oh my god, the pop and the lock.
Wow.
Of all the times I don't have my duck hunt dog on hand, but just fill in the blanks yourself. One-on-one.
Yeah.
Let's see if Dewey can get another round off. I get to see this again. Awesome. Boof. It was such an oblique angle for that rocket too.
Round 3.
Oh, just to quote Ron Burgundy, man, that escalated. Boy, that was over what? That was over in like a minute.
Oh,
hello.
Stay down.
And yeah, when you go Ranger v Ranger, it's never going to be too long before you have a fight. And it used to be that was kind of the domain of Blood Run, and now Awoken has taken that spot as well. Because if you spawn Rail, and you look at Mega, and they spawn LG, and they look at Mega, you're going to be running into each other a lot sooner than you want.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. And it's kind of unfortunate for Dewey because his Ranger's out now, and he didn't even get a orb out, right? So it's like, wow, RAPHA's ready to go. Orb's already going to be backed up, I believe. Yeah, it's backed up.
That's a RAPHA. Back through TP. Seeing Dewey go down through HMG. Can hear him still back over here, and there's not a whole lot for Dewey to pick up other than, you know, the one armor and a little bit of LG. And he comes out of the teleporter and doesn't get a whole lot of damage off. It seems that every time he wants to get some rocket damage off, RAPHA's there with his LG just punishing him for every single whiff.
I like what RAPHA's doing here. He's playing that position. Listening, he's trying to block off both items, right? He's going to grab Mega. He knows now he's going to fall back to heavy, and he's got solid control, and he's going to come on an aggressive run here and try to get back.
Yeah, it's the classic thing of, if I can keep you here for another 8 seconds, then I get both items for free. It's not even a contest at that point. Oof.
Yeah, when they're that low, there's no stop. He's just going to keep coming.
It does kind of put him out of position here off of the frag. Like, he can cross, but Dewey's going to have access to a railgun before RAPHA can really collapse and get around that corner. So, like you remember on the edge, where if you really have to chase somebody down to like shotgun to make a frag, well, guess who just spawned up in the Mega Room? Like, sometimes you have to be aware of where you're fragging somebody as well.
Yeah, definitely. That's certainly an aspect of the game, especially in duels, is you do become a little familiar with spawning tendencies, right? So it won't be that spawn every time, but you know, I kill somebody here, and a lot of times they spawn in this area, so to speak, and you just get used to that over time.
Used to it, yeah, that's one way to put it. It's a Mega taken by RAPHA. We got the heavy coming back up, and unless Dewey wants to show up for a rail, he's not going to be there at all. And RAPHA's even willing to leave it up, just putting a little bit more spin on the timing. Because, yeah, Dewey's not putting any pressure on it. But there's the one rail. Okay. That'll keep RAPHA humble, but with that Dire Orb, he's still very dangerous. Speaking of, all right, put good Tri-Bolt here. Oh, my God. All the Tri-Bolts.
No. He
Stops
ate
moving.
ate all of that, man. Oh, jeez. Because it was a good, you know, when RAPHA rocket jumped up, it was a good defensive rocket by Dewey, and he did set up, you know, switching the lightning gun and everything. That was technically, you know, it was an alright play. It was a good decision, and just RAPHA, wow.
Have we seen RAPHA spawn with every champion first now? Sometimes I feel like that's a little bit of a big D thing. Like, I at least want to play all my champions, you know. All right, so creep in the corner.
I think that there is more of a mental strategy thing to keep them guessing about what champion you're going to start with, so they don't get used to your starting patterns and things like that. So.
Yeah, I know this is an online tournament, but this is feeling like a LAN game. Just the attitudes they bring into it here. It's at the LAN games you see, you know, people, you know, gauntleting corpses all day, every day. But here you're seeing a little bit of that as well as we got RAPHA trying to push in. The shield's out. His stack is awesome, but look at this. Dewey kiting him so perfectly. Not that he got a whole lot of damage out of it, but here's the LG putting RAPHA in a corner. He's looking for a way back out. Oh, nice moves there with the air dash.
I like it.
Yeah.
Right. I would have definitely dashed right off the side of the map.
That's why I don't bring Clutch into this map. But good rail out of DOOI. And RAPHA's actually got to start thinking about his own skin now. Got to bring that stack back up.
Yeah,
just wants a little bit of damage against DOOI there. That RJ keeps that mega place safe for RAPHA. Like, DOOI couldn't do any damage as he was crossing. Ooh, okay. A little bit of a misread there. And one that DOOI takes full advantage of, keeping RAPHA backed up to the power-up. But can DOOI sneak in and get any more damage out of this? RAPHA just using the double dash to stay out of harm's way, at least for the moment.
Shield ambush incoming.
Is that ticking from Clutch? Wow.
He knows.
Oh, he doesn't know. Again, like another misread, this time from DOOI. And that time he took a ton of damage. Wow, he's got to be at like 1 HP. But 1 HP or 90, DOOI takes the rail between the eyes. And now RAPHA is 2 frags away from taking the Quake Open League Season 6 NA Finals. Well, I mean, RAPHA's going to be stuck in the cutty. And again, you want those hourglasses, but it's such a trolly thing to do. Sink.
DOOI's in big trouble.
Oh, and it's going to be the mining laser as the final frag. And DOOI